to various editors-in-chiefs and editors associated with the journals under the aegis of IESRF for their commendable roles, extreme efforts, and contribution. It is a matter of great honor and pleasure to appreciate and reward their hard work. I hope their accomplishment will encourage many of us present today in the evening in this program. I also feel privileged to welcome our chief guest of the evening, and he does not need any formal introduction because everybody present here are familiar with his achievements, developments, and fame. He's a very renowned person, and he's none other than Dr. B.V. Atkoli. So we welcome you all to this virtual conference, I could say program. I also extend a warm welcome to the Honorary President of IESRF, Dr. Jayant Sharma, advisory board members, editors-in-chiefs, editors, reviewers, and authors present in this prestigious awards ceremony. I appreciate Nikita ma'am and her team for the dedication and spirit in organizing this program. Now, before we move forward, I would like to give you a brief introduction about IESRF, that is Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation. It is one of the leading non-profit organizations dedicated to medical and scientific research. IESRF is associated with various scientists, medical professionals, research scholars, and students who dedicate themselves to the research and development of science, medicine, dentistry, and allied sciences. To facilitate active communication, IESRF organizes various academic events such as workshops, webinars, and seminars quite regularly. I'm truly privileged to be a part of this society. Now, as we proceed further, it's a custom, it's a ritual. I would say it's very close to our culture to remember our Almighty God and seek His blessing before we proceed for anything auspicious. I would request Nikita ma'am to kindly play the welcome video. Nikita ma'am.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय
On behalf of Innovative
Now I would request our Honorable President of IESRF Society, Dr. Jayant Sharma, to address the audience.
Education and Scientific Research Foundation, I, Dr. Jayant Sharma, President of IESRF, welcome you all. IESRF is one of the leading non-profit organizations dedicated to medical and scientific research. IESRF is associated with various scientists, medical professionals, research scholars, and students who are wholeheartedly dedicated to research and development in the field of medical health, nursing, dental sciences, and pharmaceutical sciences. IESRF is a pioneer body committed to innovation with quality in the area of research, which resulted in scientific revolution and sustainable development in the medical field. It is a proud moment for all of us to be the part of Innovative Education Scientific Research Foundation. We have successfully covered our journey of sharing knowledge through this platform. We consistently delivered the best of our capabilities to improve, support Indian academia. In order to constantly polish researchers' ability, IESRF organized events on research publications, scientific writing guidelines, publication ethics, etc. I request you to go through the YouTube channel for the archives. Today, at this grand online event, I would like to thank our editors, reviewers, and authors for their constant effort to improve the quality of our journals. Through IESRF Research Awards 2021, we would like to honor all the prominent researchers who have been consistently assisting us in delivering high quality research work for the betterment of mankind. I thank you all once again.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful and very inspiring note, and we feel very much honored to be part of this event and this society. Now, moving ahead, I would invite Dr. B.V. Atkoli for his keynote lecture. Now, before the lecture, I just want to give a brief introduction about this renowned personality. Dr. B.V. Atkoli is an MSc, MEd, PhD, MEd from the Dundee University and is presently working as the Director, Center for the Health Professions Education, CHPE, Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth since 2015. He is also an accredited educator for the Advanced Trauma Life Support, ATLS India, franchised by the American College of Surgeons since 2010. He has played key role in starting innovating programs in health profession. He has several copyrights to his credit. He is on the editorial board of the three renowned journals and peer reviewer for a number of journals. Presently, he is a lead faculty for the certificate course in medical education research under MEU India. Besides it, he has so much of publication accreditation to his credit that if I go on, this will take a very long time. But today evening, he is going to deliver a talk on a very important topic, how to improve language skill for enhancing journal productivity. This topic is in which we should all be deeply interested in. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Distinguished galaxy of authors, editors, reviewers, publishers, and all those who are interested in scientific research, all pulled together by the initiative of IESRF. This cannot happen in a time better than this because we are thinking about looking India at the hub of scientific research in its own way. When we are thinking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-sustenance, make India made for the world, we need to address and align our scientific foundation. So I appreciate the role played by IESRF. It is true to its name. It brings together innovation, educational and scientific research together for the benefit of the community at large. I congratulate all the people who have won the prize, but I am more interested in telling you that it is just a beginning. We need to put our efforts together in the direction of giving a solid foundation to the scientific research in India. And the topic which I am going to talk today is a very, very small topic. So, madam, if you permit, shall I share my screen? Can you make me the co-host?
Sir, you are permissible. Please share your screen.
Please let me know my screen has come. I put on to the slideshow mode.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So straightway I go to the subject, how to improve language skills in scientific writing to enhance journal productivity. Today, my talk I organize into 4 segments. First, I talk very little about the importance of language skills. Then I highlight some of the current issues and problems as far as the language part is concerned. And then I give a few caution for using the software and the packages which are rampant in the market now, started emerging in the scene, but we need to be very cautious in using them. And towards the end of my presentation, I would like to give a few tips for the authors, editors, publishers, and the scientific community in general. I often say that language is only a component in the overall picture. What is important is your paper has to be original in its content and should be feasible and applicable. Most important. You have to satisfy the technical aspects. Usually the IMRAD structure, what we try to follow in scientific literature. You have to be exact in your, your reference tables, your figures, illustrations, everything, technical aspects. And ethical aspects are very important for 2 reasons. One is to project the way in which you conducted your research in an ethical manner. You have to report it. Secondly, you have to consider all the ethical issues of publication when you come to the level of publication. Because nowadays we hear a lot of stories about plagiarism, about the issues related to authorship, and so many issues are there. But they are also very important. We can't ignore them. Last but not the submission requirements. Because nowadays most of the journals have gone online. Unless you have the skills to submit safely and securely to the editorial process, the game is half done. So all these things are important, but language is one thing which I want to highlight because it will affect everything. I often say that in the importance of language is, I give analogy of luggage identification sticker. You are on a travel, first thing you go to a security check. You will show your luggage. And by chance, if some objectionable material leaves there, you ignore and you go ahead. And when you are about to board the flight, suddenly the phone call comes. Sir, so and so gentlemen, you are requested to go back to the security check and put your identification marker again. What a wastage of time. What a tension because you are just about to board. So it is something like that. The suggestion is that we have to address this issue. Why the language part should not come in the earlier part itself rather than coming later at this stage. Of course, as we know, there is a role of editor, there is a role of reviewer, publisher, and reader. All these are influenced by the language. The editor can straightway reject the paper or return the paper based on the language. Friends, you must be knowing because you are all, I suppose you are all victims of that. In the Indian literature, in spite of her best content and the presentation, many of the foreign journals, they find that the language is not up to the mark. Some journals are courteous enough to say that, okay, we will give you support to improve your language. But some others say, no, go back, please. So what a torture or a trauma for you. Having done the hard work, you are not able to even convince the editor. So that is the first point which you have to consider. The reviewers also find it very irritating and boring. Reviewers will be put off when it is written in a very poor language. Then publisher will find it even embarrassing if suppose he ignores this one and if there is something, if there is a language issue which is creeping up in the reader section, communication, he will be embarrassed. So it affects the publisher also. And lastly, reader. You know, I say that reader and the author, you have to bridge communication gap. And this communication gap has to be bridged by a good language. That is the importance of language. Now, some of the common problems. Today, I'm going to highlight, I'm not going to tell in detail, but I'm going to just show you little markers. First problem is IMRAD sequencing in preparing manuscript. IMRAD is good for the final output, but not for writing the article. I come to that. Use of grammar, tense, spelling, and punctuation marks. This is the hardcore English part of it we have to address. Use of active voices versus passive voice. Nowadays, this has become also an important issue. I'll come to that why. And last but not the least, using a language not reader friendly. Use of too many long sentences, redundancy, repetition, ambiguity, and last but not the least, exaggeration. So we have to be safeguarded against some of these flaws which will affect our paper. This is a slide which and most of you will realize that the slides are mostly meant for the young researchers because you are all very seasoned people. For you, it will be a sort of a repetition. Please excuse me, my apologies for that. I often tell that when you want to write your paper, first start with the method. It is what you have done. You are confident in explaining, just I did this. It's just like telling a story, what happened. So it's so easy. Then come to the results because it is what you have got it. Try to put together your results. Discussion is very important. And in India, my experience is that many papers fail in the discussion stage because there is no in-depth analysis of their study vis-a-vis other studies. We tend to ignore this aspect. So discussion and conclusion will have to be written afterwards. Then you write introduction, because introduction is like we say helicopter approach. You give an overall context and you come to the aims and objectives of the study. You write. After that, you write the abstract, because abstract is nothing but abstract of what you have written. And then last, title. Of course, title you have to think first. For working process, you have to think of the title. But at the concluding stage, you see whether your title fits in very well or not. Let me give you example. In my workshops, I give you example. Nowadays, the example is, suppose let us take an example of somebody doing a research presentation paper on a study of effect of lemon juice in enhancing immunity. I'm just taking a hypothetical example just for making it very simple. So this could be your title. But effect of lemon juice in enhancing immunity among elderly people. So you have added another element of your study, which is very important for the reader. Then next level, effect of lemon juice in enhancing immunity among elderly population, a cross-sectional survey. So here you are adding another layer of information about your methodology, which is also equally good. But if you ask me where exactly to stop, you can also go on a study from South India. Okay, so it goes on increasing, but you have to strike a balance. You have to strike a balance, how precise, how in shortest possible words you are going to tell about your title, which is very important. About the use of grammar, I want to just tell you one point, that past tense, present tense, and future tense. Ideally, every paper will have all these three tenses. When you talk about methodology, invariably it will be in past tense, because you are writing what you have done. See here, Lemonte et al. Reported that drinking 200 ml of lemon juice boosted immunity of elderly people. Boosted, past tense. Now, when you come to the discussion stage, you have to say the finding of our studies can be compared with a Sri Lankan study. So you are coming to the present tense. And again, when you come to the introduction or maybe conclusion, there will be a line perhaps. Future studies will throw a light on the efficacy of lemon juice. So crafting of all the tenses appropriately in your paper makes the difference, which is very important. About the use of active and passive voices, I think the editors and the publishers who are here, they know better than me, because they are seeing the trend. When we were writing, when we were youngsters, mostly the scientific literature was dominated by passive voice. We say randomization was done by the researcher. Everywhere passive voice. But nowadays you see a trend, especially because of the USA influence, American English. They are very happy and straightforward in using active voice. We randomized the study subjects. We did this. We did that. So as far as I am concerned, I think there is some sense in that, because it will give you a passion in writing and reflecting what you have done. So I think you please can further debate. The reviewers and editors should debate on this issue. I tend to believe that use of active voice can be encouraged. The next one, the use of punctuation marks. Without punctuation marks, the sentence is meaningless. See here, lemon juice, the common man's drink, is now an immunity booster. The second sentence, lemon juice, the common man's drink, is now an immunity booster among millions. I'll give you another interesting example. Read this. A woman without her man is nothing. Now I have put punctuation mark. A woman without her man is nothing. See the lot of differences after putting the punctuation mark. So punctuation marks are very, very important in making your writing powerful. Many of the scientific papers will have two long sentences. For example, here you see there is a broad consensus among the researchers from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, and Pondicherry with respect to a statement that lemon juice is a major source of immunity booster in younger and older. Can you straightway cut this? There is a neat, broad consensus among researchers from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. All this you can cut it. South India. That lemon is a major source of immunity booster in all population. So you are saving so much of reading time for the reader, and also in terms of economy, the number of words which are important. Again, this is an example. What I call is redundancy or verbiage. Verbiage means like we say garbage. So in terms of words, it is verbiage, excess words, which do not make any sense at all. I'm just leaving this for sake of time. I'll not go through the example. And when you have an opportunity, you can pause the video, look at the example, and try to probe more. This is another example. Repetition. Okay, can I go ahead? I suggest that either Nikita or somebody or Madam Amina,
Yes, sir.
please, what I suggest is you keep your, you be in an unmute condition and try to alert me
Yes, sir, you are
Okay,
fine, absolutely fine.
or give me some feedback. Okay.
good,
A
sir.
without good presenter, audience will sleep. Put a punctuation mark. A without good presenter, audience will not sleep.
Okay, I don't know, because I should not disturb the sleep also.
No,
Okay.
sir. Sir, it's
No,
very
it's very
engaging,
fine,
sir.
It's
Very
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 good.
engaging. Very engaging.
So ambiguity is one thing, many times sorry. Let me come to the ambiguity. Here, your sentences are telling this way, that way, not sure what you are trying to tell. Some studies largely support our findings that drinking lemon juice can influence immunity, maybe even among COVID vulnerable population. But others have contested this to some extent. So we are not really sure of our effectiveness. Totally, the reader is confused. Now, the same thing you can put in this way. While many studies have supported our findings, reference number 15 to 21. So they are supporting your studies. A few have contested our findings. Reference 23. A recent systematic review takes a balanced view. Luckily, suppose you have one systematic review, serial number 24, that will come to your rescue. It will take a balanced view. A meta-analysis is much needed. So see here in this paragraph, your sentence is the last one. This is a gut contribution of the author. A meta-analysis is much needed. You are telling with strong force. Other things you are telling, okay, this is like this, this is like this. So this is how a researcher has to be neutral, dispassionate, and assertive at times. Exaggeration is another problem. I don't know whether it is more in India. I'm not sure. Many times we say we are reporting for the first time in the world that lemon juice is a great immunity booster across all population, even beyond COVID era. First of all, we are claiming too much. Instead of telling that, can we be a little humbler? We could not find any study reporting immunity boosting effects of lemon juice from January 2020 to December 2020. You have told facts and you have not claimed anything extraordinary about your study. Because I know that as authors, we are enthusiastic. We want to show that we have done a great job. But it is for the scientific community to tell whether you are doing the great job or whether it has been already done. So exaggeration has to be avoided. Next one, coming to the technology. I'm not going to do much, talk much about technology. I want to tell you that technology has come in a big way. You people must be knowing in a better way. Word processors are there. Microsoft Word is becoming more, Google is becoming more into intelligent. As you keep on typing itself, automatically it will start correcting. Sorry, sorry, sorry for that. So spell check. Spell check is a very important thing which has come to the picture. But I always tell that use spell check, but use it cautiously. Why? I will give you example. Suppose you type software spelling Software. Now this WER may be corrected as WHERE. It's a tragedy, isn't it? Software. So you have to be careful. Spell check. If you write CHEK, it may correct CHEQUE. Bank check. So you have to be careful about the what you call spell check. Don't use it indiscriminately. Grammarly also I have the same problem. I used it for some time. When people came with a different corrections, it was making totally different meaning at all. It was distorted. So you have to consider the way in which you write grammar. And again, there is a American grammar and British grammar. We find little difference in that. So you have to consider the one which the journal which you are submitting, the audience of that particular journal, and whether your language suits that kind of readers. That is the question you have to ask. I don't want to talk about plagiarism. It's a big topic itself. If I go into the topic, there will be no end at all. IESRF should conduct a separate workshop on that. So my tips for the authors, I'm coming to the end of my presentation. For authors, my first tip is think in English, because the problem for Indian writers is that we study mostly non-English speaking medium and we speak in different languages. Then we try to translate into English. So this is the biggest problem with us. Those who are actually convent educated, those who are coming from English medium are better than us, because they think in terms of, they are quick and they are fast. They are more accurate in using English. The second important role is master the rule of the game. Whether it is use of past tense, whether it is use of tenses, whether it is use of punctuation marks, whatever few rules, tips which I have given, you have to master it. And be cautious in using the software. And the most important point is feedback is vital. I tell that feedback, reflection are the two mantras for improving the standard, whether you call education or research. And in the context of writing, feedback from whom? The best person to feedback is the potential reader, because he talks about reader friendly, user friendliness. You require feedback from your colleagues and the peers, because they can, tell, they can give their considered opinion. Besides that, mentor. And I always tell that, I'm coming to that point a little later also, mentoring is very, very important aspect for improving the quality. So when I come to the from individuals to organizations, mentoring holds the key. The problem now is we are seeing a culture of MCQs. You take NEET exam, you take next exam, you take entrance exam, everywhere it is dominated by MCQs. So we are forcing our students not to really write, think and reflect. So one of the way out for this is use of portfolio. Portfolio is an instrument, it's a advanced version of logbook. We are all familiar with the diary and the logbook, but it is something more. Portfolio is more reflective. It gives opportunity for you to ask what happened, why it happened that way, what I could have done, and next time what I am going to do it. So he will write faithfully his critical comments, and this will be considered by the mentor. The mentor will read. Mentor will not solve the problem. The mentor will just give him a stimulus. Okay, you have your language, you have to improve. Okay, Now, what you could do, you could simplify some of the sentence constructions. Some of the paragraphs which you have put, you convert them into tables. Very simple. Somewhere you use even bullet points. Though, I don't see many of the articles, scientific articles in bullet points. I think there could be a change in the future also. When you come to, suppose you are drafting solid recommendations, why not bullets instead of giving a explanation? So you need to consult your mentor, and a strong mentoring and feedback, they give the support in improving your paper. Then comes faculty development. Faculty development is very dear to my heart, because that is the way in which we empower, entrust, delegate, and trust our colleagues to play an important key role with their students. So even faculty development, when I say, it is not only faculty, it's also residents. All over during my 30 to 40 years, I have been organizing workshops for the teachers, and this momentum has picked up in the present scenario. For example, the good news is that National Medical Commission has come, and NMC considers faculty development as a very important thing. Not only faculty development, they also talk about research. They talk about the presentation in impact factor journals and all those things. So NMC will definitely bring a lot of impetus to postgraduate education and its use. But believe me, should we start research at the postgraduate level? It makes no sense. Research should start as early as possible. Why not undergraduate level? So if the undergraduate student writes reflections, maybe short communication, I don't say original paper or a review paper he has to do. He has to write a small letter to the editor, questioning the validity and the reliability of some of the good papers. And that will provoke, that will make the reader community also aware. Yes, this boy has gone into the depth. So faculty development is taking place, and NMC has been doing that great role. And now the NAC is also pushing research in a big way. Because of the NAC accreditation, all the maybe 600, 700 universities in India are supposed to work and towards research, which gets 300 marks out of 1000 marks. Of course, besides 300 marks, there are also other marks separately for initiatives for IPRs, intellectual property rights and all. So research is a big cream. And now the new National Education Policy 2020 tells that research, they are thinking of a research foundation. They say research should be a part of all postgraduate programs. They are thinking in terms of research programs and the conventional programs. Conventional programs will also have research, but separate the institutions, they will do focus on research. So NEP is a big jump in thinking our mental makeup. We are waking up to start a new journey into the research field. So the tips for the editors, what the editors and the publishers and the reviewers, of course, provide support for the authors. Reform rather than reject. Many international journals take credit in saying our rejection rate is 90%. What have you achieved? Isn't it? Our aim should be to attain 90% acceptance. Isn't it? So how you can do that? You have to struggle. You have to struggle how you can increase the acceptance rate so that the research output, the research productivity comes to the focus. So the editors and publishers, they have to provide tools. Tools are very important. Then training. Then technology, because new technology is coming. Nowadays, because of the influence of data analytics and artificial intelligence, it will come to all the fields, and it will have more relevance maybe in scientific research and publication. It will change the way people do the research. You mean you need not even go to the laboratory. You can ride on the data which is generated and sit upon that, make a meaning out of it, and coming to a beautiful, wonderful solutions. So the technology is driving in a big way, and we have to cash upon that. Who should take initiative? Again, the pyramid. In the pyramid, the seniors, the editors, the publishers, they should try to tell the people about the technology. Just to give my personal experience, for the first time I was working on an international book, Effective Medical Communication, edited by Dr. Parija and myself. This book was published by Springer. And we discovered that Springer has introduced some innovations at different stages, including production. In production, earlier we were struggling how to, because the corrections are submitted in Word file, another corrections will come. You don't know how the correction will make to the original. But now softwares are available. There are very user-friendly softwares wherein directly you can correct it. PDFs can be read, can be converted, and you can see the explanation of what change has been done and why the change has been introduced. So the technology is going to help in a big way. We have to encash. And the trend has to be told to the people. So these are the tips for the editors. I am not going to take up the role of agencies like COPE, because mostly COPE, I think they deal with publication ethics. So it is beyond the language. So I'm just skipping that point. But I feel there's a need for COPE also to raise a new hope of helping the people. So I have come to the end of my presentation. I take this opportunity to thank so many people. In fact, the presentation always, I learn from the people like you, with your interactions. So I acknowledge with thanks Anita Jain, clinical editor of BMJ, and Billy Uber from Germany, Nikita, or she's, I think, the whole kind of she's the nucleus around which everything revolves. So she was so helpful. She told, sir, don't worry, I will give you some input. I'll give you some directions. So that is how you can enrich. And especially this is required in scientific research and publication. It is a partnership between author and the publisher and the reviewer which takes us to a new height. And Jaideep Raipudi has also given a few suggestions. And I thank once again all of you. And I'm sure that with your spirit, zeal, and enthusiasm, the scientific publication in India is at safer hands. Many of the people whom with I am interacting, who are especially abroad, they have expressed concern. They're telling, Adkoliji, our problem is that we have a lot of data, we have a lot of information, but we are nowhere when you read, coming to my subject, for example, academic medicine, medical teacher, these are some of the highly respected educational journals. You will not find much Indian articles there. So we need to address why this is happening so, and how we can come out of that. And the way which you have to come out of that, why I'm showing these elephants here, the elephants, they don't go by the road, they create the road, isn't it? So the Indian leaders should work like elephants. You create the road, you create your own path of progress, and let us not ape the West or the international field. So with these small suggestions, I conclude my speech here. Thank again the organizers, and thanks once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can I stop here? Can I stop here?
Yes, sir, you can stop sharing. Thank you so much for your amazing presentation. Mrs. Nikita, can you just play the video?
Can you go spelling mistakes? So it's very past tense because it makes a exaggeration. The rules of the game is very important. Q culture. For the leader, how to turn author sometimes, and create fast track. We talk about Atmanirbhar in case If you have any,
Researcher, Department of Anatomy on
I end here. I'll be very happy to answer the queries by whatever means. Nowadays technology is available. We are accessible. We are affordable also. So please do not hesitate to contact me in case if you have any query. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you once again. Now I would request
Thank you.
all of you to go through a short video, how to add reviews on Publon video. Can we have the video on, please?
how to add reviews on Publons. This presentation is made by myself, Mayuk Pandit, researcher, Department of Anatomy, honorary member of Asian Society of Researcher, also working as editorial and review committee board member of many international and national journals, as well as member of prestigious organizations across the world with an account of 10 international and national publications. Select the subject area journal at www.innovpub.org and apply for the review committee board by making a submission of your updated CV. After editorial office selection, which would be based on your resume and merit, you would be appointed and recognized as a reviewer of the respective journal. You would be assigned articles for review from editorial office. Opt and review within short period. After completion of assigned review, you would be receiving an auto-generated mail containing an acknowledgement letter and review certificate. Sign in to Publons. Send your certificate at review@publons.com. Within 4 days, you get review credit on your dashboard. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. I hope my presentation would be beneficial for you all.
Thank you. Thank you for the informative video. Now is the time we acknowledge our awardees and move ahead for the award distribution. The first awardee of the evening is Dr. Ranjan Agarwal for the editor-in-chief for the IESRF Commendable Editor-in-Chief Award. Dr. Ranjan Agarwal is an editor-in-chief of Indian Journal of Pathology and Oncology. We congratulate you, sir, for the achievement. Can we have the video for Dr. Ranjan Agarwal?
Good evening to one and all.
Can we request Dr. Ranjan Agarwal to say a few words for our attendees?
A very good evening to one and all. I welcome you all to this award session. The reason why we keep an award session is not only to motivate people but also to develop a habit in them about anything, any activities that are being carried out. This award especially carries some meaning because not only the person who is getting the award but the person who is giving the award also feels a joy or a happiness. It means that when a person is getting an award, he or she is being recognized in that particular field. The person who is giving an award feels an honor that the person who has actually done some work is being recognized by them, and it's a both way process. So I welcome you all to this grand award session. The award session is being carried out by their society. This is a bigger group under which they have been doing many publications, not only of the journals, but of certain books, MCQ books, some recent very good books, one on ophthalmology, I remember. And this is how they have been developing. I clearly remember that few years back when I joined hands with Mr. Rakesh, at that time IJPO was being published regularly, everything was good. But then when we discussed this with Mr. Rakesh, it was felt a need to renovate the entire system, call in for good number of publications, good number of articles, plus quality, and most important, to get our journal indexed in higher societies, in higher medias. With this aim, we started this publication system. And today, at this juncture, I should say that we are in a very good commanding position. And this is not the end, definitely. We would like to continue our efforts more and more and get more and more indexations. So, welcome once again to each and everybody who are participating. And most important, I would like to thank especially the authors for sending their quality work, which requires a dedicated time, money, resource, everything. Reviewers who spare their valuable times in reviewing the articles meticulously and re-reviewing them, making it suitable for the publication. And obviously, least but not the end, people from the editorial board who see how an article best can fit into an issue, what are its limitations, etc. etc. And the publication team also. So, with these words, I welcome you all to this grand award session. Thank you. A very good morning, everybody. It's indeed a great pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
to announce
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Many congratulations. We really appreciate your sincere contribution. And also thank you for sharing very kind and hopeful words, motivating other people, other researchers to come up with some good ideas and innovation. Now, may I invite Dr. Ranjan Agarwal to present the awards to his editorial team for their appreciable contributions. Can we have the video,
awards
please?
for this year, the IASRF Awards. Since it was a tough competition, deciding on a particular person for the awards was very difficult. So, we have divided the award into different categories. So, I'll start with the IESRF Best Editorial Award goes to Dr. Ranjan Agarwal from Bareilly. The IESRF Editors Award is being shared between three people: Dr. Ranjana Havaldar from Madhya Pradesh, Dr. Jyotsna Suri from Jammu and Kashmir, and Dr. Bhanushri CS from Indira Gandhi Medical College. The IESRF Reviewer Award is shared between Dr. Kavita Kumari from Himachal Pradesh University, Dr. Chandrasekhar TN from Shivamoga Institute of Medical Sciences, Dr. Shashikala Hiremani from a government senior specialist. The IESRF most cited article is shared between Dr. Geetu Nair from Kozhikode, Dr. Sonam Nandyal, Dr. Sanjay M, Dr. Prashant Vijay Kamawat. I congratulate all the recipients. The IESRF Consistent Contributor Award is given to Barani Karikalam, a faculty at Pardana University. We have been continuously receiving articles from Dr. Barani. And finally, the IESRF Guest Editorial Award is being given to Dr. Ifat Jamal from AIIMS, Patna. With this award, we can very well see that from Jammu Kashmir till Kozhikode, we have not only our authors, contributors, reviewers, editorial board members, but various diversities, which definitely adds to the good quality of articles that are submitted for publications. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Many congratulations to all the winners. It was really very motivating to see you being honored. Now, may I have the honor of presenting the Editor-in-Chief IESRF Award to Dr. Jayant Sharma. He's an Editor-in-Chief of Indian Journal of Orthopedic Surgery. Can we have the video, please, for Dr. Jayant Sharma? Congratulations, sir. So may I
Thank you
invite
very
Dr.
much.
Jayant Sharma, Editor-in-Chief, Indian Journal of Orthopedic Surgery, to present the award to his editorial team for their contribution.
Yeah,
Over to you, sir.
I'm very proud of my team. It's a big family from across the country, and for the best editors, again we have three editors over here, and the first to receive the award is Dr. Prashant Upadhyay from Indore. He is assistant professor in Amaltas Medical College, Indore. Then there's Dr. Nand Kishore Goyal and Dr. Satish Goyal. Apart from that, we have IESRF Reviewer Award. This award goes to Dr. Mohammad Haroon Khan. The second award goes to Dr. Pradeep Kumar, and the third to Dr. Ansari Muqtadir Abdul Aziz. Recently, I just now accepted one of his accepted paper. I was just re-reviewing that article. So he's so ambitious and so dedicated towards the work. We can see that every now and then we have his reviewers reviewed articles over here. The most cited article is by Dr. P. Vadak Bawalkar, and two of them are also my articles, which have been published in IJ, in Indian Journal of Orthopedic Surgery. The Consistent Contributor Award goes to F. Abdul Khadir. So these are the list of contributors and winners from Indian Journal of Orthopedic Surgery. We have a good team of educationists, academicians, and scientists in this group, and we are regularly working hard toward getting this journal at number 2, and we are proud to be number 2. Apart from the official journal of the association, we are the most cited and reputed journal of orthopedics in India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Definitely, sir, it's a proud moment to see your editorial team members to getting appreciation and being awarded. Can we have the video for the awardees, Nikita ma'am?
Madam, we will send all the certificates to the awardees winners because actually sir announced lively, so we never share this here. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we will share
Okay.
editorial office, and
It's always good to announce in front of so many in a big August gathering instead of showing a video of all the winners. That gives a one-to-one connection to the contributors.
So we convey our congratulations to each one of them.
Yeah.
So now we move to the next awardee. The next awardee for the IESRF Editor-in-Chief Award goes to Dr. R.P. Moria. He is an Editor-in-Chief of Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology. Can we have the video?
Thank you so much, Innovative
video is
Education
paused.
and Scientific Research Foundation, for giving me this award. I am very much thankful to all members of Innovative Publication for honoring me and to acknowledge my hard work during last 6 years. In last 6 years, much progress has been made with Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology. We are on a mission to improve quality of articles, to improve indexing of journal, and to take our journal at newer height. Today, Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology can well be considered as one of the leading national journal of ophthalmology. Ultimately, the success of IJCO goes to the talented editorial board, competent reviewers, and dedicated hard-working editorial staff. I thankful to all authors, contributors, readers, and our reviewers and editors who have supported us in our endeavor to this dream a reality. I humbly seek your continued support in the future. Thank you very much.
So please accept sincere congratulations and the certificate of appreciation. I think the video got paused. Nikita ma'am.
Ma'am, okay. Yeah, it is previously learned actually.
Many congratulations, sir. So may I invite Dr. R.P. Maurya, Editor-in-Chief, Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology, to present the award to his editorial team for their contributions. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Rajendra Prakash Maurya, Founder Editor in Chief of IJCO, welcome you all to the most awaited occasion of virtual IESRF research. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Rajendra Prakash Maurya, Founder Editor in Chief of IJCO, welcome you all to the most awaited occasion of virtual IESRF Research Award 2021, organized by Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation. Now I will take the opportunity to announce the awards on behalf of IESRF. So first category of award is IESRF Best Editor Award. And award goes to Dr. Hanna Ranje Prashant. She is a professor in ophthalmology in Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences, Pondicherry. Congratulations, madam. Next best editor of IJCO is Dr. Sandhya Ramchandran. She is a senior professor and head of the department in Sri Devraj Urs Medical College, Kolar.
Audio is audible, right?
Yes, yes, it is
Yes,
fine,
madam.
ma'am. It is fine.
Yes, madam.
Bangalore. I welcome Professor Sandhya on behalf of IESRF and congratulate her. So, big round of applause to Dr. Sandhya. Next award goes to Dr. Samira Irfan. Madam is a senior consultant and neuro-ophthalmologist in Mughal Eye Institute, Lahore, Pakistan. Thank you, madam, for being a part of our editorial team. A big round of applause to Dr. Samira, madam. Next, best editor award goes to my friend, Dr. Syed Mehboob Qadir. He is working as a faculty and senior oculoplastic surgeon in Bangladesh. Eye Hospital and Institute, Dhaka, Bangladesh. He is a very dynamic and sound personality. Congratulations to Dr. Mahbub. Next, ISRF Best Editor Award goes to Dr. Abdul Waris. He is an associate professor and vitreoretinal surgeon in Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, Aligarh Muslim University, Uttar Pradesh. Congratulations, Dr. Waris. So, big round of applause to all best editors. Next category of award is IESRF Reviewer Award. As we all know, reviewers are the backbone of any journal. Without their support and contribution, quality of journal is not possible. We are so lucky to have so many competent reviewers with us. First award goes to, in this category, Dr. C.V. Andrews. He is a professor and head of department in Jubilee Medical College, Thrissur, Kerala. I congratulate him on receiving Best Reviewer Award, and we as a team acknowledges his contribution to the IJCU. Next Best Reviewer Award goes to Dr. Tania, and Dr. Tania is working as an associate professor of ophthalmology in Punjab Institute of Medical Sciences. Big congratulations to Dr. Tania. Next IESRF Best Reviewer Award goes to Dr. Divakant Mishra. He is a very dynamic, talented, and international famed vitreoretinal surgeon working as a senior consultant in IQ Super Specialty Hospital, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. I admire his reviews. Congratulations to Dr. Divakant. The next award goes to Dr. Anubhav Chauhan. He is a senior medical officer in ophthalmology in Lal Bahadur Shastri Government Medical College, Mandi, Himachal Pradesh. Congratulations to Dr. Anubhav. Next category of award is IESRF Best Cited and Downloaded Article. We have 5 nominations, and first award goes to Dr. Sweta Tripathi. She is a senior consultant in Indira Gandhi Eye Hospital and Research Center in Lucknow. Congratulations to Dr. Sweta. Next most cited article award goes to none other than my mentor, Dr. Virendra Pratap Singh. He is a professor and head of refractive surgery and neuro-ophthalmology services in the Regional Institute of Ophthalmology, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. Thank you, Professor Virendra Pratap Singh, sir. We wish that we receive many more good articles in future. Next award goes to Dr. Fijo Kuriakose. I congratulate you, Dr. Fijo, on behalf of whole editorial team of Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology. Congratulations. Next, Best Cited Article Award goes to Dr. Praveen Kumar KV. He is the Assistant Professor in Narayana Medical College. Congratulations to Dr. Praveen. Next most cited article award goes to Dr. Sumita Sethi. Thank you, Dr. Sumita, for your excellent contribution, and congratulations to you. The next category of award is IESRF Consistent Contributor Award. And first award goes to Dr. Shaumen Chakravarti. Dr. Chakravarti is Associate Professor in Bakura Medical College, West Bengal. Next Consistent Contributor Award again goes to Professor Virendra Pratap Singh, sir, from Regional Institute of Ophthalmology, Banaras Hindu University. Thank you, sir, for your consistent contribution for betterment of our journal. Next, award goes to Dr. Piali Sarkar. She is Associate Professor in Kolkata National Medical College, Kolkata. Congratulations to Dr. Piali Sarkar. Next, Consistent Contributor Award goes to Dr. Ram Kumar Jaiswal. Sir is a professor and head of the department in BRD Medical College, Gorakhpur. Congratulations, sir. Next, ISRF Contributor Award goes to Dr. Farjad Pagdal for his valuable contribution as guest editorials. Dr. Farjad Pagdal is Associate Professor in Farabi Hospital, Tehran University of Medical Sciences, Tehran. Congratulations, sir. I request everybody attending this virtual meeting to give a big round of applause to all the contributors.
Thank you, sir. Sir, would you like to say something, Dr. Moria? Actually, I just received an feedback that your video was not running on the slides actually. Is it right?
No, no,
it
madam.
was
No, it
running.
was perfect.
It was
Okay.
going fine. Ma'am. It was going
Okay.
fine.
Sir, you have to unmute yourself. Dr. Moria, you have to unmute yourself.
Dr. Nikita, you can continue. We are already late, and I was actually in operation theater. That's why. But I have given perfect message to our editorial board member, reviewers, and
Thank you.
all the other contributors.
Thank you, sir.
So many congratulations to your team, sir. It is an honor and privilege to be honored and appreciated. Okay, now we move to the last awardee of the evening for the IESRF Editor-in-Chief, and that goes to Dr. Manish R. Pandya. He's an Editor-in-Chief, Indian Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology Research. May I have the video, ma'am? Can we have a virtual token of appreciation for Dr. Manish R. Pandya? May I invite Dr. Manish R. Pandya, Editor-in-Chief, Indian Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecological Research, to present the awards to his editorial team for
Can
the
I share?
commendable job, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, over
So
to
can
you,
I
sir.
share or you want to play the video?
Oh, sir, you just share your screen. You are allowed to share.
Okay, okay, okay. So just I am sharing my screen. Okay, my screen is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first slide
Yeah.
Yes.
comes. Okay. So now it's playing. Okay. It's okay. Everything is fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So thank you very much. And first, thank you, Nikita madam and Dr. Jain sir and Dr. Moria, those who are present. And thank you very much for nice presentation by chief guest. Sir, we had learned a lot how to put punctuation. Now you say I am putting punctuation. Thank you, sir. So this is myself, Dr. Manish Pandya, and these are some of my credentials. And I am very thankful that IJOGR, since inception, I am with this journal, and total 32 publication I had made in IJOGR, 3 paper in IJBCP, 2 paper in International Journal of Reproductive and Contraception in Obstetrics and Gynecology, 1 paper in Open Access Journal, and 1 paper in IJMPS. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to present my work. And these are some of my books. The moment the child is born, mother is also born. She is exited, but mother is something new, said by Rajnishji. 3 books written by me is recommended by RCOG as a reading material. This is Atlas of Fetal Echocardiography, the technique of IVF made easy. And thank you very much, IJOGR, for giving me opportunity to become editor-in-chief. And I am happy that we had invited so many researchers. Today, on this occasion of Innovative Education and Research Foundation award ceremony, I am thanking with my editorial team. We have got Associated Editor Nandalaya Sundari, Seema Hakim, Seema Sharma, Dr. Anup Pradhan, Dr. Gopa Chaudhary, Dr. Ruchita Kulshrestha, Uma Pandey, Nidhi Gupta, Harpreet Kaur, Yusuf Osodi, and Swapna Kolikonde. She is from United States. So with this team, we are making this channel up to the mark, and we are giving very good presentation to our researchers. We are very good, have peer-reviewed journals. So thank you very much, Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation, for giving me opportunity to give awards to my team. First category of award is Indian Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation Best Editor Award. And first award goes to Dr. Monica Gupta. Dr. Monica Gupta is professor in Safdarjung Medical College, New Delhi. The all best editor awards are given on the basis of their contribution to the peer reviewer and different production in procedure of editorialism. So congratulations, Monica madam, for accepting this award. In virtual meeting, we are on the day of 20th March 2021. We are giving this award to you. Second best category award goes to Dr. Savita Rani Singhal. Dr. Savita Rani Singhal is professor and she is from Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, PGIMS Rohtak, Haryana. Congratulations, madam, for accepting this award, and your contribution to our journals means a lot. You had served as a best peer reviewer, so congratulations, madam. Third award goes to Dr. Shashank Shekhar. Dr. Shashank Shekhar is assistant professor in Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, All India Institute of Medical Science, Jodhpur, Rajasthan. So congratulations, sir, for getting this award. And we hope that your contribution and your valuable suggestion to our Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation, and particularly Indian Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology, will be on higher note, and we are putting our more indexing and we will be cited more and more. IFRS Best Editor Award also goes to Dr. Rakhi Ritesh Sahu. Dr. Rakhi Ritesh Sahu is consultant in Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, LH Hiranandani Hospital, Mumbai. So congratulations, madam, for getting this award. Another category is Indian Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation Best Reviewer Awards. And this award given on the best reviewed person. First award goes to Dr. Parneet Kaur. Dr. Parneet Kaur is professor in Government Medical College. So congratulations, madam, for getting this best reviewed award. Another award goes to Dr. Gomti E. Dr. Gomti E is professor in Sri Devraj Urs Medical College. So congratulations, madam. We are giving this award virtually on March 2021, and thanking Madam Nikita and Dr. Jayant Sharma for giving this opportunity to pride our own fellow, to give them the valuable that you are respected and you had given this respect. As sir has rightly said, everything should be awarded and everything should be appreciated. So we are appreciating your efforts. Another best reviewer award goes to Dr. Brinder Jit Kaur, and Dr. Brinder Jit Kaur is assistant professor in Santoshbad Dullabji Memorial Hospital, Jaipur. Congratulations, madam, for getting the best reviewer award. Next category is in Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation Best Cited and Downloaded Article. And this is, sir has rightly said, that we have to work more and more. If you are more cited, if you are more downloaded, then more indexing you will get in your journal, and more upgradation of journal will be there when article is most cited and most downloaded. First award goes to Dr. Jyoti Jayaram. Dr. Jyoti Jayaram has given best article on feto-maternal outcome in cesarean section, which is done on second stage of labor, which is most cited article. Congratulations, Dr. Jyoti, for getting this award. Second awardee is Dr. Isa Michael. Dr. Isa Michael is senior resident and she has done work on urinary tract infection and its effect on outcome of pregnancy, which is most cited and most downloaded article. Another awardee is Dr. Haripakur Anita. Dr. Haripakur Anita is working as an assistant professor in Gandhi General Hospital, and she had done work on thrombocytopenia in pregnancy. I am thankful that, madam, I had written one chapter in postgraduate series in thrombocytopenia in pregnancy, and you had also quoted as a reference. Thank you very much, madam. Sir has rightly said, we have got so many international contributors. Most cited article from Alexander Urakov. He is from Udmurt Federal Research Center of Ural branch of Russian Academy of Science. And sir has presented paper on fetal hypoxia, temperature value for oxygen exchange, resistant to damage, and diagnosis of using a thermal Imager. Congratulations, sir, for getting this award, and we are giving virtually on this day of 20 March 2021. Another category is consistent contributor award. Those person who had contributed to our journal regularly. The award goes to Dr. Mallikarjun Reddy, and Dr. Mallikarjun is working in NTRUHS, and he has presented 3 papers. First paper on modified biophysical profile and its role in predicting fetal outcome in high risk of pregnancy. Second is comparative study of 25 oral and 25 vaginal misoprostol administration for induction of labor at term. And thanking you, sir. Recently, we had done study on uses of 25 microgram vaginal as an induction of labor in OPD and converted into labor room. And this study is also published in latest journal of Indian Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecological Research. So thank you. From our contributor, we are learning and we are doing more research work. Third is study to assess relation of cord blood prolactin levels in development of respiratory distress syndrome. It is an observational study. So congratulations, Dr. Mallikarjun Reddy, for getting this award as a constant contributor in Indian Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecological Research. So thank you very much. And this is Baba's blessing because I am the last presenter.
Time to be happy is now, and the place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy and have a little heaven right here.
So congratulations all the awardees.
The time
To be happy is now, and the place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy and have a little heaven right here.
Great, sir.
So thank you very much. Thank you, Nikita Madam. Thank you, Innovative Education and Scientific Research Foundation, for appreciating the person's work, appreciating the person, those who had done good contribution as a best editor. And I am thankful that you are converting more than 3,000 people as a member. So I wish this small tree of 3,000 become 3 lakhs and more and more. So congratulations, madam, and thank you very much.
We have to work hard together for these things, sir.
Yes, madam. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Many congratulations to all the winners of the
Thank you.
evening. Really, it was an honor
I am stopped
to felicitate
my
you.
sharing.
And
thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Now, with this, we come to the end of this scintillating evening. Now, before we close, there are few announcements to be made related to IESRF. I request Nikita ma'am to kindly do so. Nikita ma'am, over to you for the announcements.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Actually, first announcement, there is IESRF selected few articles, most downloaded and cited articles. So for that, you have to visit the websites of IESRF awards website. And second, election of IESRF 2021 is happens in next month. So we all would like to request you all to nominate for the committees till 10th of April, different committees for till 10th of April. We will send you all the information through email. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Over to you.
Now I request Dr. Binod to give vote of thanks for the event.
Thank you, Dr. Nikita madam and Dr. Amina Sultana madam. I take this opportunity to place on record vote of thanks. My first and sincere thanks to Amina Sultana madam for moderating this event with great composure and on positive note. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude for our distinguished speaker, Adkoli sir, for your inspiring words, and we have been enlightened with your good speech. And I also express my sincere thanks to IESRF President Dr. Jain Sharma sir for your constant guidance and support for this event. I also take a great opportunity to express my wholehearted thanks to editors-in-chief, Dr. Manish, Dr. Maurya, and Dr. Ranjan sir for your gracious presence, and also for the achievement of our congratulating the achievers of your journals. We have been we have been fortunate enough to be backed up by dedicated and motivated people like Dr. Nikita Madam and Dr. Rakesh Pandit sir for your constant support and also deep involvement for completion of this such a wonderful task. Last and least, I thank all the winners and expressing my congratulations for your achievements. Keep this momentum going on in future also. And I thank all editors, reviewers, and authors for your support and also for your encouragement, and also maybe for your gracious presence on this occasion. I thank everyone who are directly and indirectly involved with this event. Over to Nikita Madam and Dr. Amina Sultana Madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Like you say, everything should come to an end. I thank each one of you who graced this occasion by your presence. I congratulate the esteemed members of the IESRF Advisory Board members, Dr. B.V. Atkoli, sir. It was a pleasure hearing from you, and other editorial chief members for presenting and gracing this occasion. And I just wish all the winners, all the awardees, congratulations from the society. And I just wish them all a great research career ahead. And it was really motivating for many of us like me to come up with some better ideas so that I'm also in one of these awardees lists next time. Over to you, Nikita ma'am. Thank you so much for including me in this event. It was really an honor and privilege to be a part of this grand award ceremony. Over to you, Nikita ma'am.
Thank you, madam, and thanks a lot of thanks to you because you handle the moderation part is very well, and I congratulate to compile the event now. So can we meet next week for the continuation of award event for other journals with another editor-in-chiefs of various journals and other editors. So till time, have a great time ahead. Thank you, Dr. Manish. Thank you, Dr. Lalit sir, Dr. Moria, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Nikita.
Dr. Vinod sir, and Dr. Amina madam. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Namaskar.
So we are leaving the meeting.